Right now, without even trying, you can do something almost nothing else alive can do. Close your eyes for a second and picture yourself next winter. Cold air, a heavy coat, your breath in front of your face. You've never lived that exact day. It doesn't exist yet, and your brain just walked into it like a room. A squirrel can't do that. A squirrel buries a nut, and in a very real sense, has no idea why. It's not saving for winter, it's running a program. The future it's preparing for is one it cannot picture. So here's the question this whole video is about. When did ancient humans first learn to see tomorrow? When did a creature first stop just reacting to the world in front of it and start living in a day that hadn't happened yet? The answer takes us to a cave 100,000 years old. But before we get there, I have to tell you about a bird. Because in 2007, one small, ordinary-looking bird broke the single rule scientists were certain only humans could follow. Hold on to that. It's going to matter more than you think. Let's start with you, because you are quietly extraordinary and you've never once noticed it. Think about your day so far. At some point you thought about what you'd eat later. Maybe you felt a knot about something coming up at work. Maybe you set an alarm or texted, "See you Friday." Every one of those is you, reaching forward into a moment that does not yet exist and treating it as real. Scientists have a name for this. They call it mental time travel. Your body is locked to this exact instant. It can only ever be right here, right now, but your mind isn't. It can unstick itself from the present and go somewhere else. Back into a memory of last summer, or forward into a winter that hasn't arrived. A lump of soft tissue inside your skull can visit a day that has never happened, rehearse a conversation you haven't had, dread a Monday still 3 days away. Nothing in physics says a brain should be able to do that, and for most of life's history, no brain could. Animals are magnificent prisoners of now. They respond to what they can see and smell and hear this second. Deliberately preparing for a specific future you can picture in your head seems to be one of the rarest tricks evolution ever pulled off. And it's easy to miss how much it built. This one ability is the seed of farming, saving, building, medicine. Every plan you've ever made, take it away, and you don't just lose calendars, you lose civilization. So where did this superpower come from? Scientists have chased that question for decades, and the answer flips something you've always believed about your own memory. A memory researcher named Endel Tulving noticed something strange. Our ability to relive the past and our ability to imagine the future weren't two separate skills. They were one. He coined a word for it, chronesthesia. And two other researchers, Thomas Suddendorf and Michael Corballis, showed why. Imagining the future runs on the very same brain machinery as remembering the past, which leads to a reveal that sounds backwards. We think memory exists to record the past, like a diary of what happened. But many researchers now suspect that's not what it's for at all. Memory may exist to build the future. Evolution let you store the past so you could take it apart, recombine the pieces, and simulate what hasn't happened yet. Your memories aren't a photo album, they're spare parts. And the machine you build out of them is tomorrow. For a long time, the story stopped there, and it was a flattering one. Imagining tomorrow was supposed to be the line in the sand, the one trick that made humans human and left every other animal stuck in the present. And then a bird walked up to that line and casually stepped over it. In 2007, a team of researchers, Caroline Raby and Nicola Clayton among them, published a study in the journal Nature about the western scrub jay. Scrub jays are members of the crow family, famously clever, and they hoard food in hidden caches. So far, nothing unusual. Lots of animals cache on instinct, but the researchers designed something devious. They taught the jays a routine across 2 rooms. In one, the birds always got breakfast. In the other, they got nothing. They woke up hungry there. The birds learned the pattern. Then one evening, the researchers gave them a surprise supply of food and let them store it wherever they liked. Here's what the birds did. They cached most of that food in the room where they had learned they'd wake up hungry. They were not hungry when they did it. It was evening. They were full. They were providing for a future version of themselves who would want breakfast in a place that never served it. That is planning for a need you are not currently feeling. That is a small act of seeing tomorrow. And it cracked the tidy human story wide open. The one rule everyone was sure only we could follow had just been broken by a bird with a brain the size of a nut. So if a jay can do a version of it, what actually makes us different? Because something clearly does. No scrub jay ever built a granary or wrote a will. And the honest answer isn't planning. The jay plans. The answer is detail and flexibility. A scrub jay plans for one specific, familiar need: hunger, in a known room tomorrow morning. A narrow, hardwired window. What a human can do is almost unrecognizable next to that. You can plan for a hunt you have never been on, in a place you have never stood, for an animal you've only heard described. You can picture your own death decades away and act on it today. And here's the leap. You can imagine yourself as a different person in that future, older, wiser, somewhere else, and run thousands of branching tomorrows and choose between them. The jay has a keyhole. We have an open sky. So when did our ancestors first push through into that open sky? To find the moment, you have to go looking in the dirt for something a mind leaves behind only when part of it has started living in the future. The strongest fingerprints come from Blombos Cave on the coast of South Africa, in layers around 100,000 years old. There, researchers found something quietly astonishing: a complete toolkit for processing ochre, a pigment deliberately made, used, and then stored. Set aside, kept. And you don't store a toolkit unless part of your mind is convinced there will be a later in which you'll need it. Storage is frozen foresight, an act that only makes sense if you can see tomorrow. And there's more. Around the same window, very roughly 100 to 130,000 years ago, at sites like the caves of Mount Carmel, we start to find deliberate human burials, people placing their dead with care. And whatever else a burial means, it is an act pointed straight at the future, a gesture that assumes tomorrow and something beyond the person who has died. Now, I want to be honest with you, because that's the whole point of this channel. Nobody can prove exactly what was in a Stone Age mind 100,000 years ago. What researchers can say is that these behaviors, storing tools for later, burying the dead, are the fingerprints we'd expect from a mind that could time travel. Read together. This is about the closest we can get to the moment our ancestors crossed the line. Around 100,000 years ago, in caves on the edge of a continent, something in the human mind opened up. And for the first time, a creature on this planet could stand in the present and see tomorrow. But here's the part almost nobody tells you. That gift came with a price, and you are still paying it today. Because if you can picture the future, you can picture all of it. The good winters and the bad ones. The hunt that feeds you and the hunt that kills you. And eventually, the one future no animal living purely in the present ever has to face: your own end. The same power that let your ancestors save food and plan the harvest handed them something no creature had carried before: dread, the ability to be afraid of something that hasn't happened. The first human who truly imagined tomorrow was almost certainly also the first to lie awake at night, afraid of it. Every worry you've ever had, about money, about health, about the people you love, about death, is the tax on this superpower. It's the shadow side of the one ability that built everything we have. You cannot have the harvest without the fear of the frost. So the next time you catch your mind drifting into next week, worrying, planning, hoping, stop for a second and notice what you're doing. You are performing the rarest trick evolution ever invented. That ordinary, everyday daydream about tomorrow is a thing almost nothing else in the history of life has ever been able to touch. 100,000 years ago, in the dark of a cave, one of your ancestors did it for the very first time. They looked past the present, saw a tomorrow that didn't exist yet, and had no idea what they just started. If you want to keep standing at the edge of that story with us, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.